Part 2. Anyway, everything I have is left to Kian, and when he returns from studying abroad, he can naturally take over my company. Hearing me say this, the three of them all laughed satisfactorily. I also laughed. They laughed at my stupidity. I laughed at their naivety. During the process of handling the study abroad procedures, I took my son to the company every day, teaching him familiar with the company's business without reservation. The day he left the country, after Steven sent his son to the airport, he held his son's hand and was reluctant to let go. Rosie also came specially. She brought a bunch of things for her son, afraid that he would not live well alone in a foreign country. The two kept nagging at their son. The scene was warm and touching, a scene of a mother worrying about her son traveling thousands of miles. After the son boarded the plane, the two still watched the plane soar into the sky until it disappeared. They left with tears in their eyes, reluctant to part. After the son went abroad, Rosie came to my house less frequently, but Steven went out more and more often. Every time he came back, he seemed to be hollowed out. Whenever I asked, he either said he went to a brother's party, or he signed up for a fitness class to maintain his figure. When he couldn't find an excuse, he would pretend to be sad and sigh. Kian was raised by me, and he has never left me. He went abroad for so long, and I can't help but miss him. If I don't find something to do, I will collapse. I ignored the smell of Rosie's orchid perfume on him and comforted him with a smile. Kian will be back soon, and then our family can be reunited. Steven gave a faint smile, with a meaningful remark. Yes, soon our family of three can be reunited. 4 years later, my son returned from studying abroad. Rosie, whom I hadn't seen for a long time, came to my house early in the morning as before, accompanying Steven and me to pick up my son at the airport. The moment they saw their son, Rosie and Steven couldn't control their emotions and rushed forward, hugging their son tightly as if no one else was around. After the three of them vented their longing, my son walked straight to me and said directly, "Mom, I'm back. When will you hand over the company to me?" Looking at my son's eager appearance, I smiled calmly. "Let's go. I have already held a press conference. Right away, I will hand over everything to you in front of everyone." At the press conference, the venue was packed. All media reporters and celebrities gathered here, just to witness the change of ownership of the Smith family's group. Under the spotlight, I announced that Kian would succeed me as the head of the Smith family's group, and under the witness of lawyers and interview cameras, I signed the stock transfer agreement, transferring all my property and company shares to my son. For a while, the applause was thunderous, and the crowd was in an uproar. Many people marveled at the deep mother-son relationship between my son and me. Their eyes were filled with envy when they looked at my son. However, at such a moment, Rosie, holding Steven's hand, arrived late. In the eyes of everyone's doubt and surprise, Rosie took out a paternity report and said loudly to me, "Daphne, actually, the test tube baby you had was fertilized by Steven and me. I am Kian's biological mother. Letting Kian call you mom for more than 20 years is also a reward for your childbearing. Now, you should give him back to me." Hearing this, the scene was instantly in an uproar. Isn't this the poor student Daphne has been sponsoring? Did she actually get involved with Daphne's husband, and let Daphne give birth to their son? This is too despicable. Isn't this a typical case of a farmer and a snake? Daphne helped her so much, and she actually repaid her kindness with enmity? It's not early or late. Daphne just signed the stock transfer agreement, and she recognized her son here. Isn't it obvious that she is after Daphne's property? That's right, it's too much. It's bad enough to use others to have children for them, and now they have emptied others' property. It's too malicious. In everyone's fierce denunciation, Steven spoke indignantly. In the first half of my life, I was bound by marriage. As a man, I tried to persuade myself to be responsible for this marriage. But I am also a person. Countless nights, I asked myself, is this really